In Queens, residents there dealing with street flooding at this hour.
That's a really problematic area. I grew up not too far away from there. Let's get to Eyewitness News reporter Lindsay Tuchman, who's live right now in Howard Beach. Lindsay, what are the conditions there at this hour?
Charlene, at the moment, the flooding isn't as much of a concern as it was when it was high tide. Right now, it is low tide, so we're not seeing as much flooding on the streets or on the sidewalks. We are still feeling that rain, though, and we are still feeling the wind, and that's why I'm holding on to my hat here, because it is going to be a bit of a difficult morning for people when they wake up. I'll show you what it looks like a little bit. It is rather dark here along the basin and these canals in Howard Beach, where you can see the water is at low tide, but because of that heavy wind, you can see the ripples in the water. But this is where they did experience flooding yesterday. There's a lot of mud all over the place and some ponding still in some of the more low-lying areas. But take a look at some video from midnight, which is when high tide did occur. You could see there was water all over the streets, making it very difficult and rather dangerous to drive around for people who had to get around at that time. This is, of course, something that people in this area often do have to deal with, but it has been raining, not all that significantly though, so it's really showing how much flooding happens even with that low amount of rain. And it is supposed to rain for the rest of today, so there could be some more coastal flooding, even some flash flooding. The next high tide is at noon. Some residents in the area shared their thoughts on the flooding.
The flooding is a nuisance because the neighborhood itself is beautiful. The people around here are great. But when this happens, it's like life stops. Everything stops.
So again, as I mentioned, there could be more instances of flooding happening right now. Things are calm, but we can really feel that wind. We do have a wind advisory in effect as well, where wind gusts could reach up to 40 miles per hour. So it's just something to keep in mind as you head out the door this morning, that there could be some difficulties when it comes to the weather on this blustery April day. For now, live